Welcome to Too Much Love. It's been a while, almost like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 months. I lost track of time, but I'm super excited to be back here on Jolt Radio. It's Monday, July 3rd. So, I know some of you are off, which is beautiful, enjoying this pretty hot afternoon here in Miami. And we have a bunch of really cool things to share with you guys here today. I'm with Aurelio Aguiló from Homework Gallery, one of the founders. And since it's pretty hot, we're going to be talking about summer school. That it's, well, not only summer school, but actually the summer programming that Homework it's going to be hosting here in Miami, taking over 2 different spots in the city, one in the continental parts and one on South Beach. So Aurelio, welcome to Too Much Love. Welcome to Jolt Radio. How's everything?
Hi, Flor. Thank you. Everything's good.
Awesome. So let's start sharing with our listeners a little bit about Homework, right? It's a pretty innovative concept. It's a nomadic art gallery. Can you tell me a little more about how you came up with the idea?
Yeah, sure. Homework is an idea that I've been cooking up for a very long time. I got introduced to the art world living in Miami over a decade ago. Not only the visual art side, but the business side of it. And since every December, the behemoth that is Art Basel Miami Beach lands here, I got very interested in the dynamic and what is this, because I had no idea of how it functioned and who the players were or all this stuff, and I got very interested in it. And I moved to New York to do a master's in art business at the Sotheby's Institute of Art over there. And I started working at galleries and museums and stuff like that, and I started seeing the dynamic of how galleries operated, how emerging, mid-level, and blue-chip galleries operated. And working in that industry and seeing how things functioned, I kind of started cooking up with the idea of having a nomadic art gallery that functioned outside of the traditional norms or traditional rules that the art world has established, as a way of platforming artists that I believe deserved an avenue during the critical times of the art world calendar, but also as a reaction to the coldness of the traditional gallery world. Maybe as a reaction to it, I used to love going either to Chelsea or the Lower East Side to check out shows and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I would notice that I would go into a gallery and they would take two seconds to look at you. If they assume you can't buy anything, they would ignore you. So I know that the majority of the art consuming crowd isn't part of the collector base, but they're the ones that fill up the openings. They're the ones that go to the fairs and all this stuff. So I wanted to create something not only to platform emerging artists that I believe deserve an avenue, but also as a platform for art lovers to feel welcome in the space. So that's kind of the idea how it started cooking up, and it's been evolving ever since our first show. So we do pop-up programs nomadically in pop-up spaces, which we like to call experimental art spaces, and we do it for short periods of time. And since it's a pop-up and we have it for such a short period of time, we like activating it with what we call activations. So we have not only the traditional opening and closing and artist talks, but we have panel discussions, performances, workshops. We've had radio shows being hosted from there, a ton of things, and we find that it's a great way to engage the community wherever we are, which is our ultimate goal. We want the gallery to be a place where people actually go and interact with the art, and not just be a white cube where a collector might go and buy something and that's it.
And actually, what you're saying is super interesting, and it also ties up perfectly with the programming that you have for the summer, because, as you were saying, Miami is very well known for Art Basel, but, people wonder, okay, what's going on during the rest of the year? Like, what are, like, if you like going to Art Basel to see, like the shows and the exhibitions and the satellite fairs, then what do you have to do during when the rest of the year, besides going to the ICA or going to some other local galleries? So that's a very interesting approach. Can you tell me about the first, because the summer is going to be divided for you guys into two blocks, right? Two
Yes.
pop-ups. The first one being summer school that is actually opening on Saturday this week.
Friday.
On Friday,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that.
We wanted to, we've been open for almost 2 years, but we've always wanted to do a show in summer because summer traditionally in the art world, they say it's kind of like a dead period, but we feel it shouldn't be. It's so we want to activate, like you say, the city of Miami becomes very active in December, but then sometimes it kind of like goes slow, and summer is one of those times when it's really slow, but artists are still out here, they're still working, they're still doing stuff. And we feel like it's a great time to activate the local community with shows like this. So we are having a very dynamic summer programming that came together we've been working on it for a while, but it kind of all came together pretty quickly in the last month.
Mm-hmm.
So we found two great spaces. The first show is called Summer School. It's going to be a group show with 9 artists, all local artists. And it's going to be at the former Miami Club Distillery, which is in Little River, right next to Dalezine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this huge space that we're very excited about because we get to play with everything. It's a distillery, so it's not a traditional white cube gallery or anything like that. And we've been having a lot of fun not only mounting the show, but coming up with the activations for it. We're going to have a big menu of stuff going on, from performances, panel discussions, wine tastings, tea ceremonies, a DJ set, and lots of other stuff. And from there, that runs from the July 7th until July 22nd. And then we have a couple of days, and we move to the Sagamore on the beach for what we're calling Retreat Volume 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to be a solo show with Falo Papas, the Argentinian artist.
He actually painted the mural
Yes.
outside Jolt Radio.
Yeah.
So, everybody that's listening now, if you're familiar with the radio, if you drove by 7th Avenue, you can see the full mural on the side of the building.
Yeah, we're very excited. He's a pretty good friend of ours, and we're very excited to have this opportunity to present him in a hotel, in the gallery of the Sagamore Hotel, which is a very art-centric hotel historically.
Mm-hmm.
And we've also done, it's the second time that we work with an art-centric hotel. We did a show in New York at the Ace Hotel up there, and this is going to be a chance to do one locally here in Miami, and we're excited about that one because we open on the 29th, and we open with a day opening with our good friends from Rum and Coke, playing a pool party over there at the Sagamore. And Filo is going to be doing some live paintings, some live mural paintings, and the traditional gallery with all the works he's going to be presented is going to be active as well. So yeah, that's going to be a fun one.
Awesome. So for today's show, we put together a little playlist, some songs that, in a way, are inspired by the underlying tones of the exhibitions. That it's, the retreat, the leisure time, coming from Hispanic culture, that I'm Argentinian originally. For me, it also has a very strong connotation to siesta. Summer equals siesta to me. So we also chose a few songs that have that kind of feeling to it.
Okay.
So we actually started the show listening to Wash and Dance by Monet, that I forgot to present. But now we're going to listen to La Verdad by Hermanos Gutierrez. They were actually playing here in Miami very recently, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago at the band shell. So yeah, we're going to listen to that. And we'll be back in the studio after that. And we are back in the studios. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Too Much Love here on Jolt Radio. And I'm joined by Aurelio Aguiló from Homework Gallery. We're talking about the amazing programming that Homework has for the summer here in Miami. And Aurelio, tell me a little bit about the activations that you guys are going to host at Summer School, the pop-up that is kicking off this Friday in Little River.
So part of our programming is to get the community active and into the space to interact with the art. So what we've come up with is a series of activations during the 2-week run of the show that's pretty varied, and there's pretty much something for everybody, from families to everybody. And we kick things off on Friday with the opening, and it's followed by a relaxation tea ceremony on that Saturday.
Awesome. How is the tea ceremony? Like, what do people do?
It's basically a friend of ours called David Blay, and he's going to be preparing tea. There's going to be a playlist on, and we'll talk about the tea. We'll talk about the effects of the tea, its relaxation, how it relaxes you, and it's just hanging out and having tea, like a big tea party. We had one at the house the other day, and it was pretty fun. It's pretty interesting just sitting around and getting your mind off stuff and learning about these different types of teas.
Oh, that's super interesting.
Yeah. Our good friend Richard Verdiez is having a performance on the 12th called Hearing Protection, which is going to be really cool. He always does some very interesting stuff. It's the third time we do some stuff with him.
Yeah, he's awesome. He actually used to have a show here on Jolt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's also in the exhibition as a visual artist. So we're very, very excited about that. We also have we're planning for the first time, we're going to have like a robust screening program of films as well. We have a big room in there that we're converting into a screening room, it used to be a distillery. I'm guessing this is the place where they had the tanks and the stuff, but it lends itself perfectly for live performances, screenings, and that's where we'll also have a panel discussion with our friends with you and Brian Butler.
I'm super excited to be moderating that one. We're actually going to talk about the do's and don'ts of commission art. That, in a way, like when you were talking about Art Basel and all that, we know that there is a lot of money that is moved around Art Basel and the satellite fairs and all that. But then, like, we believe that, emerging artists, they also have many things to learn to be able to, take advantage or have a shot at the commercial spaces, to make some money. So super interesting to talk to Brian about that.
Yeah, that should be a great one, and it follows the line of the panels that we've done in the past. We've done panels in the past that are geared towards emerging artists. So any emerging artist can come to these things and learn tips that sometimes they don't teach you anywhere else. So it's good to hear from people in the industry about that. Let me see. We have a wine club. There's going to be a wine tasting.
Nice.
With the sommelier from Boyade. She has a wine club called You Can't Sip With Us, and we're very excited about that one too. That's going to be on the 16th. The screening program is going to be very interesting. It kicks off on the 13th with a friend of ours, Gary Gardner. His film Every Man for Himself is going to be screening for the first time in Miami. And one of the artists that works with us also has a cinema club called the Hot Box Cinema Club, and we're going to do some screenings with her as well. It's very interesting because the work that we're showing of hers is, after she screens something in her club, she paints the poster.
Oh.
So we've lined up the hallway like a movie theater hallway with the posters that she's done in the past. It's like 18 of them. We have 18 works from her.
That's such a pretty cool concept.
Yeah, we're excited about that one as well. And one that we're very excited about that's very new and goes and it's with Richard also, and with Mickey Ramirez from Technique Records. It's an homage to Factory Records and the Hacienda.
Oh, nice.
And it's called So It Goes, and that's going to be on the 20th. And they're working on getting a special guest for that one that I don't want to reveal now, but
that's why it's special.
It's very special, yeah.
It's secrets.
And that one came together he's been working on the idea since he saw the space. He got inspired by the big screening room, and he kind of worked on it and gave us like the go-ahead. He planned it, and we're of course, let's do it.
How challenging was to activate and to design a full exhibition and to curate a full exhibition for a space like the one that you're describing, that it seems that is definitely not going to be a traditional, I go there, hang a painting, and that's it.
Yeah, it was pretty. I always find these experimental art spaces curatorially more interesting than just a white cube gallery, because I think it gives me a lot of freedom to play with how the artworks are installed and how they interact with each other. So yeah, we're always looking at artists. We're always like visiting, doing studio visits, and in communication somehow. And once I kind of cook up the theme and cook up the place, I just start imagining the works of people here. So we met this artist called Matthew Forehand a few months ago, and he does these incredible paintings, but he also has a mural aspect to them that makes them a little bit more immersive. I'm like, yeah, we have to put one of these in here, and then it interacts with the photography of Roscoe B. Thick, which is a great Miami photographer. And yeah, what we did for this one is that each artist has like an immersive little space where it's not only the artwork, but how it interacts with the space behind it or around it. So there's going to be a lot of murals behind the works. There's going to be like kind of installation-y things to present it in a non-traditional way, which for us it's amazing. I mean, it's just not like work on a wall. It also gives the artist some freedom to experiment with how they like their work presented. And this space really lends itself to that. It's a very big space, so it has a lot of breathing room. The works don't feel like they're choking you, some like. But yeah, I mean, it's coming together great. The show's about like 95% hung already, and we're still playing with it. I like having it for some days before the opening so we can change it around and see what works. But yeah, we're working. We have Matthew Forehand, Joaquin Stacy Calle, Diana Eusebio, Andrew Arocho, Roscoe B. Thick, Richard Vergés, Patricia Monclus, Xavier Luang, and Beth Rhodes are the 9 artists.
Awesome. Until what day is the exhibition going to be showing?
Until the 22nd.
Perfect. Yeah. Something that I think is key and very important is that everything is, like, all the activations are free. So people can just go and enjoy. Usually our galleries are, open to the public, or sometimes it's just invite only. But all the activations are free, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's part of what's becoming our mission statement, because we felt that, I mean, there's nothing more boring for me than sitting in a gallery and nobody going, and just like waiting and maybe sending an email trying to get somebody to buy a work. It's just, I don't think it's the point of what I want to do, So I want to have people come in and not only look at the work but interact with it, hang out there. Like, that's kind of the idea why I wanted to have a screening room in this one, so people can actually go and sit down and watch something and just hang out, have a drink, have some tea or whatever, and just be there. And for that, we feel like we need to activate, like, not just come and hang out, like, well, hang out, we're having this, hang out, we're doing this, and have them get to see these performances from these artists that sometimes don't have an avenue to do these kinds of things, like, in these weird spaces. I mean, when are we going to have an empty distillery to play around with and have these crazy stuff happening in it? So yeah, it's we make them free because we want people to come and interact with the art and get to know and actually like propel these artists to so other people get to know them and actually follow them and yeah.
Something that I think it also, what you guys are doing is super important, and there is interest from the community and also from some brands, right, that are supporting the cause, donating product, like getting on board, like what are some of the brands that are sponsoring you guys and like helping out with product for this? Brugal
is always great with us. They always give us product. We're Dominican, so we have like that that compatriota vibe with them. They've always been very great supporting us. And Tripping Animals Beer is also supporting us this time around.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's great. Not only people can go enjoy the art, they can also have a free drink.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
A plus. Okay, so let's take a little break. And since you said there's going to be a pretty cool activation or night dedicated to honoring factory records, we're going to listen to some Joy Division.
Cool.
Why not, right? So this is Shadow Play. and we'll be back. And that was Cold Cave with Confetti. Cold Cave, actually, they're going to be playing here in Miami on September 15th. We're super looking forward to see them. And yeah, I just thought that song, matched pretty well with Shadow Play from Joy Division, so why not play it after that? We're back in the studios here. This is Too Much Love if you just tuned in. My name is Flor Francis, and I'm here with Aurelio Aguiló from Homework Gallery. We're talking about all the amazing summer programming that Homework has prepared for this upcoming 2 months. And there is actually a theme, right? That kind of like, it's underlining for both exhibitions. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, there's an underlying theme around both exhibitions, the Summer School and the Retreat Volume 1. So we wanted to address something that's kind of typical in modern culture and in the art world as a whole. It's the constant appearance of grinding and constant working, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and I have to be here, and I have to do that, which as a nomadic gallery, we have a little bit of freedom to pick and choose the times of the year where we're present, because we don't have that crazy brick and mortar overhead to maintain. It gives us that bit of freedom. But also, it's a comment on the constant grinding that everybody always wants to present that they're doing either on Instagram or in real life. That gives them that we feel is very antithetical to the artistic evolution or the human evolution of a person. We feel that rest and leisure are extremely important in anybody's life. Mm-hmm. Since we're not really American, we're Dominican and with European roots. Summer is a very important time. You see, in summer in Europe, everybody shuts down, and that's it. We're resting now, mm-hmm. And it kind of divides the year like night does today, and it gives you time to reset. And that reset is extremely important to be able to evolve, not only as a person but as an artist. And I feel that artists are constantly feeling pressure to be active, to be at Freeze in LA, to be in Freeze in New York, to be in Basel, Switzerland, be in Basel, Hong Kong, be in Basel, Miami, and all this other stuff. And we're like, no, but we need to address this in a way where artists kind of like address the theme of leisure and rest in their practice and have such a laid-back show like the one we're doing now. To comment on that constant thing, like everybody wants to be doing stuff and collaborating, even though the collaboration doesn't even make sense, but they need to be out there. And yeah, we're kind of commenting on that and taking a step back, which is also a comment on the evolution of the gallery. Like we actually took a little break after Art Basel to reevaluate what our mission and goal was, and not to be constantly striving to have our name out there without anything to say. So we kind of like are now curating ourselves basically and our message to actually have impactful exhibitions and not just having a show to have a show to be able to post about it,
That's so crucial actually, like to not only have something to show but also an opinion, and these two shows seem like an opinion piece in a way.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
So tell me about the second part,
yes.
second leg of these pop-ups, Retreat Volume 1 at the Sagamore Hotel. How did that, like the idea came up for this? And
yeah, it's a continuation of the theme. So summer school is kind of the way I look at it, summer school is a spot where you stop and reflect on the year that's passed. And then Retreat Volume 1, which is going to be at the beach, beautiful beachside hotel, is going to be, okay, now let's let go and relax and actually have fun before we start up again in the fall. So it's more of a laid-back theme. It's one artist, Paulo Papas, doing something. He's taking a little bit of a departure of the works he traditionally does, mm-hmm. and cooking up with some new... like a new visual palette around the works he's doing that's different from the traditional Miami beach poppy things that one comes to expect from the beach. But it definitely addresses the theme of leisure, rest, and reflection, but more in a way of letting go and just relaxing. It's going to be in the Sagamore Hotel. Like I said, it's a beachside hotel. It's beautiful. The opening party, we're very excited about it. We're going to be having a day opening pool party with our friends from Rum and Coke, who play 70s and 80s traditional Latin African music, which we feel is going to be a great departure from like traditional EDM pool parties.
And they play on records, right? Like
yeah,
vinyl.
They play strictly on vinyl. And yeah, we're very excited about that. And at the same time, Falo's going to be doing some live mural painting by the pool and other areas. And yeah, that's going to be, it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to give Miami Beach like a different vibe of what people are expecting. I picture it like a 1970s pool party in the Dominican Republic with Fado painting in the background. You know, it's going to be fun.
Which is actually very interesting because, you know, when you think about traditional art galleries, as you were saying, everything is so clean and, you know, people are afraid of like getting dirty or people touching the walls or, you know, getting too close to the painting. And you guys are, you know, let's throw a pool party, you know, that doesn't compromise the quality of the work.
No.
It makes it more approachable. And as you were saying, we can have fun while enjoying good art and listening to awesome records.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks a lot to the spirit of homework in a way.
Yeah, it's definitely a comment on the way the art world and people that are not familiar with it. Like I know when we started the gallery, I would invite people. Hey, you got to come to the opening. And some people that weren't in the art world would always ask me, "Oh, but do I have to pay? What do I wear? I don't know. I don't really know a lot about art." It's like that doesn't matter. Like I just come and check it out and hang out. We've never compromised quality. So quality is above everything, and the way we pick the artists, curate the shows, and all that. But we also feel that there has to be a component that's inviting to people, that is not a traditional white glove approach. Kind of like it's not the Met, you know. We're not doing it's something more. You're interacting with contemporary art, which is the art of our time. And to get people in there, we have to like break down this fear that this is not for them. This is for somebody else. Or like art is just what I read about in the newspaper when they sell $100 million paintings at Christie's or something. That's not that is just the 1% of the 1%. I feel that's why we're so community based, because we want to change that. We want to open it up for everybody. I mean, even when the art fairs come to Miami, a lot of local people don't even know that they can go to the fair. It's kind of like, oh, yeah, I might go check out this party, but I don't know about these fairs. I'm not invited. It's like, no, this is for everybody. You pay a ticket and you go and check it out. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we want to change that messaging around contemporary art and art in general.
And what other activations you have happening at the Sagamore exhibition at Retreat Volume 1?
Yeah, we're having a meet the artists with Falo, and that we're doing in conjunction with Raygun and the Argentinian consulate. Which is going to be very interesting. Just the same, so people can come and hang out, meet the artist, talk to the artist in person about the work, have a drink, and hang out at the hotel, and hang out with us, and yeah. And we're still cooking up a few more. It's always a work in progress for us. So we're almost set. We're definitely set with the summer school programming, and now we are evolving to add more dates for the Retreat Volume 1. Which starts on the 29th and goes until the 12th at the Sagamore.
Awesome, perfect. So thank you so much, Aurelio, for sharing all this info and this insight on homework with us. And if anybody wants to find out more, or write a little cheat list of what things are coming, where can they follow you guys?
They can follow us on Instagram at homework.gallery, Facebook the same thing, and our website is www.homework.gallery, and there you can see all the information, where the shows are going to be, the artists that are going to be presented, and the works that are going to be there, and the activations as well.
Awesome. So now to end this part of the show, I picked a song by a Miami artist that I thought it was pretty in line with your summer programming, and it's Million Young. Okay. That he has a new album coming out soon, and he's been dropping a few singles this year. And this song, it's part of a double single that's called Ocean View.